Hey there, and welcome to I Reckon I'll Read It, the podcast where two Okie gals talk books, share recs, and don't hold back on their mighty big opinions. I'm Beccah.
And I'm Summer. We're so glad you're here. Go ahead and grab some sweet tea, get cozy, and get ready for some good old-fashioned book talk.
We've got a whole heap of books to talk about, and we reckon you're going to want to stick around. Hi, Summer.
Hi, Beccah.
Well, it's been a little bit since we got on here.
It has. I'm so excited to talk books today.
I know. I just popped my finger. That's definitely going to be a background.
Great audio.
Oh, well, have you done anything exciting since last time we got together?
Yes, actually, I have done something kind of bookish exciting. I have joined this like virtual social justice book club.
Okay.
I know. And so I missed our very first like month discussion where we were talking about the book Hood Feminism.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, I read it. I loved it, but I missed the discussion of it. So this last month was my first time to actually like log on to the Zoom meeting, and we were discussing the book Disability Visibility by Alice Wong, I believe is who was the editor of that book. It was like a compilation of essays from people in different disability communities talking about their experiences and the advocacy they do for the disability community. And it was fun. It was just, I think, 6 women from all across the country. We got on this Zoom meeting, and it was just a really interesting discussion. We talked about our experience reading that book. I recommend that book. I read it years ago when I was in graduate school as part of my studies. And so, yeah, that was a bookish fun thing that I've done recently.
That is fun.
What about you?
I'm trying to think if I did anything book related. I went to a book club recently at one of our local bookstores, and we talked about the Iliad.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Fun.
You've done something super bookish lately.
What?
Miss Moderator.
Yes, I was in a panel talking about like leading small group discussions, basically.
Yeah. How was that? You got to like interview an author.
It was very fun, but it was also like super intimidating. But I've never done anything like that before. Like I've talked like in settings about books and things like that before, but never like on an official panel. So that was different. It was a really good experience though. It was actually at one of our Oklahoma City bookstores, Commonplace.
It was so fun. I got the invite, the text invite from you to come and support as you were this
And she did.
panel speaker moderator. And it was fun to go to the bookstore, sit in the audience, and get to listen to you as this like local expert in interviewing this author. It felt very bookish for me as just like a viewer, an audience member. I was so proud of you.
She's hyping me up right now.
I want to be your hype girl.
You are. But yeah, that was really fun. Okay, I have a spur of the moment question for you.
Hit me.
So, what is your favorite book character? Like, who's lived with you for a really long time? Who's your favorite?
Ooh, my favorite book character. Okay, the first person that popped in my head. Oh, there's so many.
I know, but there's got to be like that one, you know that.
Yes, the first person that popped in my head was the character Donis from the book Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Boulley. It's a YA book that is kind of like genre encompassing of like it's like a YA mystery, but also like indigenous.
I was about to say, is that
Yes.
It has a really beautiful cover.
Yes, it does.
I love a good cover.
Yes, it's so good. And Donis is the main character of that. She is like a teenager. I'm trying to remember where it's located. I read this book maybe in 2022.
Okay.
And it became one of my favorite books of all time. And Donis as a main character was such a good character. She experiences some traumatic things that happen in her tribe. And the FBI actually comes in to get like a confidential informant because they're trying to find out where drugs are coming from and infiltrating the tribe. And so she pairs with the FBI as an informant as a teenager.
Ooh.
And she kind of like has to walk that line between like, is she being not like a traitor, but is she being contradictive to her tribe by helping the FBI, but also is she helping the FBI and therefore helping her tribe to kind of get rid of the drugs and like the bad things that are happening there. And she was such a compelling character. I obviously read it as an adult, but was so moved by the book and then by her and the way that she handles all of these really hard things that happen. Just absolutely love that book. One of my favorite books of all time. Yeah. Okay, what about you? Who's your favorite
we're very
character?
different people. I love that you would, of course, like you would have picked like this really like compelling character. Mine is too, but very different genre here.
Who is it?
Samwise Gamgee.
I 100% thought you were going to say Rhysand.
I love him for different reasons. No, Samwise Gamgee from Lord of the Rings.
Tell me about him.
He's my best friend.
Yeah.
I love that character. I think he is the best character of literature ever.
Yeah.
He is like the embodiment of friendship and love and loyalty and sacrifice and like all the things.
You're
about to tell me you've never read it.
I've never read and I've never watched. I know like nothing about Lord of the Rings.
Okay, I'm done with this podcast.
No! Okay, so that was really...
You know that like, that's like my heart story, like my heart book.
I know you like it. I know when we do bookish crafts, like we painted the bricks of book covers and you did The Hobbit, right? But I don't think I knew.
Yeah. So
okay. So adding to TBR.
Yes. Inside my husband's wedding ring, it says There and Back Again, which is the book that Bilbo Baggins is writing, which is the story of like.
I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, it was in our vows. That's how we like sign our. Anytime we write letters to each other, instead of like love Beccah, it says There and Back Again.
That is so sweet.
We're really cute like that. So, but yeah.
Okay, so I need to read Lord of the Rings.
You really need to.
Okay.
I didn't know that you had it. I'm not surprised when people haven't read it. Because it is, I mean, it's high fantasy. It's not like, I don't think it's a hard read, but it's not an easy read.
They're just long.
They're long. And he's more dense because he is like brilliant. But we cannot go off on Tolkien right now. Like,
okay.
We've
got to get back to the show.
All right, let's get back. Okay.
That was a good question.
I feel like we could ask that question like per genre too, though, and it would be like so varied. There's so many good characters. Okay, so it is time for one of our favorite parts of the show, our weekly reading roundup.
This is where we each share what we just finished, what we're currently reading, and what's up next on the old TBR.
Okay, Summer, since I'm driving the show today, what did you just recently finish reading?
Okay, so the book that I recently finished reading, I have actually read multiple books. I was on summer break.
I think so. You had a good month.
I finally broke my reading slump of like just really struggling to finish books. I read a lot of books, and so I had a lot to choose from to bring of what I had just finished. And I got to tell you, the sole reason that I'm bringing this book right now is because the premise is pretty bonkers. And I just wanted to hear your thoughts on it. And I just want to listen to your reactions about this book. Okay, so the first book that I'm bringing today is Run for the Hills by Kevin Wilson. I'm going to show you the cover. Have you seen that?
I have not, but I love the color blocking.
Okay, this is my second book by Kevin Wilson. Back in maybe 2020, he released a book called Nothing to See Here. And it was a fiction, but also magical realism book about someone who ended up becoming a nanny to like a political family. And she had to sign all these NDAs because the children of this politician could literally like spontaneously combust and turn on like fire.
So The Incredibles.
Yes. So that should give you a clue that Kevin Wilson books are kind of odd.
Okay.
This book is not magical realism, but it is a little odd. Okay. So here is the setup according to Goodreads. Okay. Run for the Hills by Kevin Wilson. An unexpected road trip across America brings a family together in this raucous and moving new novel from the best-selling author of Nothing to See Here. Ever since her dad left them 20 years ago, it's just been Madeline Hill and her mom on their farm in Coalfield, Tennessee. While she admits it's a bit lonely and a less exciting life than she imagined for herself, it's mostly okay. Mostly. Then one day, Reuben Hill pulls up in a PT Cruiser and informs Madeline that he believes she's his half-sister. Reuben, left behind by their dad 30 years ago, has hired a detective to track down their father and a string of other half-siblings. As Mad and Rube, and eventually others, share stories of their father who behaved so differently in each life he created, they begin to question what he was looking for with each new incarnation. Who are they to one another? What kind of man will they find? And how will these new relationships change Mad's previously solitary life on the farm? Infused with deadpan wit, zany hijinks, and enormous heart, Run for the Hills is a sibling story like no other. A novel about a family forged under the most unlikely circumstances and united by hope in an unknown future. Okay, I feel like that kind of buries the lead a little bit.
I have already so many thoughts, but I'm gonna wait.
Okay, so let me re-explain this book to you now.
Okay.
So this woman, she's in her 30s. She's a farmer. She lives on the farm with her mom. And the book starts with like a flashback into the past of this little girl who her dad is making her pancakes. And she makes this comment to him of like, well, one day you'll make pancakes for my kids and all this stuff. And then it goes to present time. She's in her 30s. Her father left them when she was a kid. And this day she's on the farm and this guy pulls up in his PT Cruiser. The PT Cruiser is very essential to the plot, actually.
It's like, what is the time period? Because I think PT Cruiser and I think 2004.
No, this is today. And so that's why
They're
it's
still
like
driving a PT Cruiser.
Exactly. That's why this book is so quirky. It really leans into the PT Cruiser.
My best friend had a PT Cruiser in college. That's all I'm thinking of right now.
It's on the cover. Like there's a PT Cruiser on the cover. It's an important plot point. Okay. So this man shows up and he's like, hi, you're Madeline Hill? I'm Reuben Hill. I'm your brother. And she's like, what? He's like, yeah. So he's in his 40s. And so her father like had a wife and a child before her family left them. And he was a writer, left them, became a farmer, had a new like partner and child, left them. And he continued this cycle over and over again of having another child and another like occupation and then leaving them. Another child, another occupation, leaving them. And so
I mean, I get the appeal. You want to try everything, you know?
And so this guy shows up and he's like, I'm your brother and I want to go on a road trip to meet all of our siblings and go find our father and confront our father. And she's like, what? And so it is zany hijinks is a really good way to describe it. And the third child that we meet actually has an Oklahoma tie-in because she's a OU basketball player. So they drive in the PT Cruiser from Tennessee to Oklahoma and they like go to an OU basketball game and they talk about like the campus in Norman. And so, okay, I want to know your thoughts. Tell me your thoughts.
Okay, hold on. Before I tell the story, I got to get a little bit more comfortable because
Okay.
I have to really lean into this one, okay?
Okay.
Hold on. Let me get comfortable here. Okay. I have a similar story to this.
What? In your personal life?
In my personal life.
Okay, tell me.
Okay, so I'm trying to think how long ago. Probably like 10 years ago at this point. I don't really know. My sister, who I definitely knew, raised with my sister, she like writes on Facebook, like this is big when people actually put like, you know, Beccah Bland is whatever. And you would say something stupid on your Facebook status.
Glory days of Facebook.
Yeah, the good old days. My sister put on her Facebook status, like, Jill Nelson has a brother that she's never met or something. We knew that we had this brother, that my dad had like a son from a previous marriage before he married my mom. So we knew about this brother. So she puts this as a Facebook status. Like it was just like a random fact about her, whatever. And it was like such a, you know, early 2000s thing to put on a Facebook status. And she gets a like Facebook message from our cousin and was like, you don't know, I'm going to say George. It's not his name. You don't know George? And my sister was like, no, like we've never met him. Like we know that he exists. And she's like, well, we know who he is. Like, so like our cousins and family, like all kind of knew who he was because they stayed in like the hometown that we were all born in. So like they all went to high school with him, like all these things. And she was like, well, this is who he is. And she like sends us his like Facebook page. So my sister emails him and is like, hey, I think I'm your sister. Like, this is my dad, like all these things. And he had no idea we existed.
Whoa.
Yeah. So we like had this big, like, we met for the first time. He had no idea who we were. He knew nothing. He knew who his dad was. Like, so my dad, like, he knew that I was his dad.
He didn't know that he went on to have more kids.
Mm-hmm. It's a crazy story.
Wow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you do kind of have a connection to this book.
do. So I get that, like, the surprise mystery sibling that you didn't know existed.
And this is a pretty short book. It's only like 200 something pages.
I mean, I might have to read it now.
And it's funny. Like, it is really funny, but like quirky funny.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, the characters are very like individual. You can hear the voices of each character. And it is so funny because it's like every time they show up to a new sibling, they have to like re-explain themselves. And each time it gets more and more difficult to explain.
Well, it is a weird thing. Like,
Yeah.
when we met my brother, we were like, so, and he was like, so, like, how, like, how'd this all happen? Like, it's a weird thing to do. So I think it'd be really interesting to read a book.
And it turns into, okay, you know what I love?
Mm-hmm.
A found family story. And so it actually, like, it's a very funny story, but it has a lot of heart to it too, because it's like, how are you going to respond in this moment? Like, there's all these weird things happening. Like, you have siblings that you don't know, but like you're on a road trip across the country to go find your dad, and like you're going to bond a little bit. And so it was the weirdest, quirkiest, fun little book. And I actually ended up being like really moved by it.
Yeah, I really think I want to read it. I reckon I'll read it.
Yeah. Okay. I got you with one. So that was Run for the Hills by Kevin Wilson.
So you didn't know that I was emotionally connected to Lord of the Rings, and you didn't know I had a secret brother.
I'm learning so much about you on this podcast. Okay, Beccah, what have you finished recently?
Okay. So it's a third book in a series. So I don't want to like give too much. I don't know if I should even read the description, but I could read the first book's description to kind of set the stage for it. I do not think you have read them.
Okay.
But you 100% should read them. They are amazing. Okay. So the one I just read is The Accomplice to the Villain by Nicole Maehrer. I think so you say her name.
I have not read these.
Okay, so good. You've heard me talk about these before.
Yes. And I will say, yeah, maybe you should give the setup for the first book.
Yeah, I think I need to at least like set the stage. I won't like obviously give any spoilers.
So I have not read these, and we've talked about this book before, and I did not realize that this was like a historical book. I thought it was taking place today. And so once I finally realized that, I was like, oh, I'm actually more interested in this now.
So I'm pretty sure it's YA. I think it's a young adult. It is very like, it reads very satire-like. So it's very funny, and I don't know, like it gets away with a lot, if that makes sense. Like, because I know a lot of people who read it and was like, that was terrible. Like, it was not good writing. It wasn't whatever. And I'm like, but did you get the humor of it? Because that's what makes it good.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So let me read the setup for the first one.
What is the title of the first one?
The first one is Assistant to the Villain.
Okay.
Once Upon a Time meets The Office. In this laugh out loud viral TikTok series turned novel about the sunshine assistant to an evil villain and their unexpected romance. Assistant wanted. Notorious high-ranking villain seeks loyal, level-headed assistant for unspecified office duties, supporting staff for random mayhem and terror, and other dark things in general. Discretion's a must. Excellent benefits. With ailing family to support, Evie Sage's employment status isn't just important, it's vital. So when a mishap with Renadon's most infamous villain results in a job offer, naturally she says yes. No job is perfect, of course, but even less so when you develop a teeny crush on your terrifying, temperamental, and undeniably hot boss. Don't find evil so attractive, Evie, but just when she's getting used to severed heads suspended from the ceiling and the odd squish of the errant eyeball beneath her heel, Evie suspects this dungeon has a huge rat, and not just the literal kind, because something rotten is growing in the kingdom of Renadon, and someone wants to take the villain and his entire nefarious empire out. Now Evie must not only resist drooling over her boss, but also figuring out exactly who is sabotaging his work and ensure that he makes them pay. After all, a good job is hard to find.
Oh my gosh.
So it's super like silly and goofy. Her writing is so funny. Like I've heard a lot of people be like, it's like terrible writing. I'm like, but it's like it fits the book, and it's not terrible, by the way. Like it is really good. These books are so good. At a book club that I'm a part of the other day, one of the people was like, I'm so surprised that you like these books, because I don't really tend to love YA books, but I think I love these books because they're so dumb and goofy and I'm laughing the whole time. Like there is a freaking frog that has well, I mean, I don't really think it's a spoiler. He's like literally on the cover of every book, but it's something living in, like it's somebody inside a frog's body. And like he holds signs up, like so he can like write. And so it will be like,
but he can't talk.
He can't talk because he's like trapped in this frog's body. So there will be like multiple scenarios where like the boss says something and he'll be like, ouch. And he'll hold up signs like, help. And so it's so good. And you think like it's a villain and there's like severed heads and all these things, but like it's so silly, like your team villain, like from the very beginning, if that makes sense.
Well, if she's gonna like have a romance with him, like you have to root for him a little bit, right?
Yeah, and like, but he's like so grumpy, and it's like the whole. It's not like this, like in the first book, like he just becomes like this like perfect person. Like no, like this is the whole thing, but. I don't even know how to explain it. It's so good, Summer. You have to read it.
Okay, I reckon I will read it. Especially, like I said, I thought it was like a modern day villain. Like, I don't know, Despicable Me, something. I don't know. But knowing, I think it's the comp to The Office that made me feel like it was like a office workplace, which it is, but it's set historical, like in a kingdom.
Yes, but it is funny because it's like a full-blown office. Like he has like an HR department. He has like a...
Okay, so I see what you mean about it being like a little satirical. I think I would enjoy this.
It's so funny. Like the frog itself will be worth it. Like all the characters are so fun and lovable. Like you legitimately love like all the characters, but there is depth to like the story that she's like creating too. Like I'm so invested. I thought it was just a duology, and so I flew through the first 2 books, and like there's like 90% left, and I was like, okay, like nothing is like there's no close. Like how's she gonna wrap this up? And then I found out there was a 3rd book, and I was furious because I had to wait.
So is it a total of 3?
Okay, supposed to be
you
3.
had to wait.
No, so I had to wait, and finally I was like, the 3rd book is here, and because it had always kind of been told to me that it was going to be a trilogy after I thought it was a duology, and then I found out it was a trilogy, and so I waited. It's so good, but okay, so I'm like halfway through this book, and I'm like, man, she's got a lot to wrap up. 75% through this book. How's she gonna wrap this up? And about 90% of the way through, I was like, this is not the last book.
Oh no.
So I was like literally Googling, is there gonna be a 4th book to this series? And I guess that she confirmed like in an interview that and then I looked on Goodreads and there's a 4th one. But she had thought it was only gonna be 3, and I think it just turned into something bigger because she couldn't wrap it up in 3. Like it legitimately needs another book. Because it's also like magic based. So it's like
kind of fantasy.
Yes.
Well, I mean, there's a frog.
It's magic realism. But yeah, very fantasy. I mean, there's dragons. There's all types of magical creatures. Like
I have heard this book and this book series set up so many times, and I've never been as interested as I am listening to you talk about it right now.
You will love it. I think you will literally eat it up.
Okay.
Because it's so silly, but it's good. Because the actual like story of the book, like what I'm following, like I'm so mad that I just finished, and it's like
you have like a year.
I still don't know. Like I learned so much this book, but there's still so much I don't know.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like I'm like, but what about this? And what about this? And like the person at the end, like, is that like, wait, why does that happen? Like there's too many things. I'm like, oh my gosh, well, that just changed everything. Why? I was literally like Googling definitions of a word she used because I had so many theories.
Theories, yeah.
Of like, wait, does that look mean this or this or this or this? And so I was like looking up like exact definitions because I was like, okay, no, I think that's okay. Like, no, is that going to mean this? No, like I think it means this. Like,
so that sounds exactly like the whole Rebecca Yarros Fourth Wing series of like,
don't do that.
I know you haven't read them. I think you're too good for them.
Okay. Something about Beccah that you need to learn right now. If there's a book that's like super hyped, I get really like, it's going to take me a long time to read it because I just want to be snootier than everybody else.
It's your Enneagram 4.
Yeah, it's my Enneagram 4. It's not really that. It's not like a better than. It's just kind of like there's so much hype and it's like, it kind of takes like the specialness out of it. Yeah. And then I'm going to be disappointed if I didn't think the hype was worth it as I'm sitting over here hyping up Assistant to the Villain.
Well, that's the thing is like, I feel like that's the similarity is that you have to wait so long between each. There's an ongoing plot. You are like really digging into theories. Like after book 2 of the Empyrean series, and then again after book 3 of the Empyrean series, like I closed the book and I went to social media to start watching people's theory videos.
Oh yeah, which I did that today too.
Yeah. Okay. So I feel like it's similar in that way. Yeah. Maybe just because it's a fantasy, but
I think fantasy novels do have that element to them a little bit. I think what I love about this one is like, it's like heavy in the right places, like really emotional and like that's so like whatever. But then it's also just like so funny,
yeah.
That it is like such a refreshing read because it's just goofy and dumb, but like good. I don't know if that makes sense.
Okay, well I'll read it.
I wish I had a little frog. Barnes and Noble sells the frog holding signs.
No,
I know. I might need to go buy it tonight. Actually,
that is so fun. That's real fun.
So. Sorry, I went off on a really big tangent there. It's so good. I need you to read it.
Assistant to the Villain.
Assistant to the Villain. There's also theories about what the fourth one's going to be called. Okay, assistant.
They're running out of job titles.
I know, right? Assistant to the Villain, apprentice to the villain, and accomplice to the villain.
Accomplice. That's fun.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, book 4 is Untitled. Some people... Well, I don't want to say what some people are guessing it'll be because it might be.
That's true. So do you think it's going to be a full year for the next one to release?
I hope not. Sometimes these I feel like authors are pumping out books quicker than they used to.
To good and bad effect.
I know.
And I do feel like TikTok authors and like self-published authors too tend to like have quicker turnarounds. They just work faster.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a publishing thing, but I'll hope for you that it's not a full year.
I also feel like she thought it was going to be 3 books. And so she might already have like so much content. Like I wonder if she'll get it out quicker because like she obviously knew where she thought she was going to end it. Oh, in book 3, this is a little tease for you guys. Because in the first 2 books, it's just like dual perspective. It's just Evie and...
Do we get the frog's perspective?
Yes!
No way!
Book 3, the frog has his own point of view.
Yeah, that makes me want to read it.
I love a good character like the frog or like the octopus and Marcellus.
Remarkably bright creatures. Shout out.
I have so many octopus things.
I love Marcellus.
He's one of my favorite characters ever written.
So we both agree that we love like characterized animals.
Mm-hmm.
Personification of animals.
That's the right word. I don't know what that says about us, but yes. I love characters like that or like sentient, which you do too, like sentient objects, like the house in what was that one called? It was like the
Alix.
Oh
my gosh, it was one of my favorite books of the year.
I know. Sparrow? No.
Starling House.
Starling House. I about said Sparrow House. Starling House.
I do love like a house as a character in a novel. Mm-hmm.
That one was good. And then...
Have you read the Hellbent?
I've not read Hellbent. That's girl.
Book 2. What's book 1?
One of them has the dead rabbit on it, and it's...
That's Hellbent. Ninth House. Ninth House and Hellbent. It also has like a magical house. Ooh. Kind of like a house of requirement or whatever that like gives you your needs. Okay. It knows your needs and it fulfills them.
I love characters like that. The spell shop or whatever, like it has like a sentient snake plant. Like
I've heard about that snake plant. Yeah. Maybe this should be one of our spotlight segments.
Yeah, we should, because we could go off on this forever. So,
Okay.
So what are you currently reading?
Okay. What I am currently reading, I'm about 60, 70% through. I believe I went and I looked ahead of time. I'm not sure if you're going to remember off the top of your head, but you have marked it as want to read on Goodreads.
What if I've read it this week?
I don't think you have.
Okay.
But okay, I'll start before I have a question for you, but I'll start. So I'm currently reading Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaghy.
Hold on, let me see the cover. Do you have the cover pulled up?
Yeah. It is a very
I love that I marked to read it, but
obvious
or
like memorable cover.
That kind of looks like my screensaver.
It does kind of look like
it's
your
the vibe.
Screensaver.
It's the vibe. It's giving me Awakening vibes too.
For the YouTube. Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaghy. I hope that's how you say her name. She's Australian. So my question for you is, Beccah, have you heard the term cli-fi?
Cli-fi. Hold on. I have heard this term, and I don't know where I've heard it. Have I heard it from you?
I don't know. I don't know if you heard it from me. I haven't read a lot of cli-fi. What would you guess?
Hold on. I literally have seen this term somewhere, and I'm trying to give it, I'm trying to pull it into my brain here.
Okay, I'll give you a primer. So you talk a lot about trends.
I talk a lot. that was into the sentence. You talk a lot.
You talk a lot about trends in publishing and how culturally what the United States is going through can then influence the next is
Yes. Okay.
Okay. And so you've talked about post 9/11 and different themes in literature. Then I think this may be where you've heard it from. I think this is a new theme in literature that's getting more and more popular. Cli-fi. Can you guess?
I'm afraid to.
It's climate fiction.
Okay. Do you know where I think?
Were you thinking romance?
No. No. I think that I was Googling something. And I think that I was typing sci-fi and left off the C. And I think Google started giving me results
for cli-fi.
Because I was I know I have seen this word, but I was no, that's not what I want. And I didn't even read into it.
Yes. So climate fiction is a newer trend in publishing of
Should
books.
I be terrified?
Probably, honestly. Books that deal more with climate disasters, kind of dystopian as it relates to the climate.
Okay. Yeah, that's terrifying. It's a little too real.
Yeah. And I mean, you kind of can guess why people are thinking about it. Okay. So Wild Dark Shore
which has a literal ocean on the front, and it looks ominous. So
ominous.
Okay.
So atmospheric.
Great word.
Thank you. It's very nature. So Charlotte McConaghy, this is my first book of hers that I've read. But I've heard really good things about her books before. She has Migrations, Once There Were Wolves. I don't know if you've heard of that one.
I think I've heard of Migrations.
So Wild Dark Shore, it just came out in March of this year. And it's her most recent novel. I will give you the setup now before I talk more about the climate of it all. Okay. A family on a remote island. A mysterious woman washed ashore. A rising storm on the horizon. Dominic Salt and his 3 children are caretakers of Shearwater, a tiny island not far from Antarctica. Home to the world's largest seed bank, Shearwater was once full of researchers, but with sea levels rising, the Salts are now its final inhabitants. Until, during the worst storm the island has ever seen, a woman mysteriously washes ashore. Isolation has taken its toll on the Salts. But as they nurse the woman, Rowan, back to strength, it begins to feel like she might just be what they need. Rowan, long accustomed to protecting herself, starts imagining a future where she could belong to someone again. But Rowan isn't telling the whole truth about why she set out for Shearwater. And when she discovers sabotaged radios and a freshly dug grave, she realizes Dominic is keeping his own secrets. As the storms on Shearwater gather force, they all must decide if they can trust each other enough to protect the precious seeds in their care before it's too late, and if they can finally put the tragedies of the past behind them to create something new together. A novel of breathtaking twists, dizzying beauty, and ferocious love, Wild Dark Shore is about the impossible choices we make to protect the people we love, even as the world around us disappears. You were making a lot of faces as I talked.
I just marked this book as want to read a few days ago. I like looked it up and read it, and I was like, oh, it sounds so good. And then it got like the whole grave thing, and I was like, oh gosh, I don't know. I don't know if I can read it. And then it kind of freaked me out. So I'm kind of glad you're reading it. I know you're not done with it yet, but what are your...
Okay, so let me talk about it. So this is the first like cli-fi book that I read before, but the first book of hers that I read before. It's not as like explicitly like the climate is dying as I thought it was going to be, but it is very specific to the setting. Like it starts with this woman washing ashore this like sub-Antarctic island, and like how desolate it is. And there's like these children on the beach that find her and rescue her and start like helping her back to health. And like she's following this family along. They're the only people on this whole island. And she's like walking with the kids across the beach, and there's just like penguins the size of the children walking around them. Regular penguins. That's the real size in real life, but like it's young children. So I
thought these were giant penguins.
No, these are real penguins.
Okay, sorry. And
so
like, little children, normal sized penguins. Okay, got it.
Yes, and like there's a whole pack of these seals, and it's like their birthing season. So like the seals are having babies, and one of the children is like helping. So it's like very atmospheric. It's very like, I feel like I'm on this island, and it's like
with
cold.
The seals.
Yes. And the wind is whipping, but like there's all of this flooding because the ocean is like rising up onto. So she shows up, and there's a whole question of like, why is she here? Like her boat crashed, and she was in the water, and the like teenage daughter saved her. Why is she here? And the father of these children is like very suspicious of her. He's keeping secrets. She's keeping secrets. Why is she there? And so there's kind of like this like creeping atmosphere of like you're on this desolate island.
Do you think that the weather and things, does it feel like a character in the story?
It does.
Okay.
And
I like that.
There's like a ticking clock so this island was a research facility, and this family is there because they were the caretakers of this island while scientists would come and live on the island. And I believe this is a real thing. I mean, I don't know much about it, but I think it's a real thing of like, there's a seed bank on this island. It's so remote because it's like sub-Antarctic.
A seed bank?
A seed bank. I'm going to explain it. It's like
I'm just thinking like,
no.
Not those kind of seeds.
That kind of seed.
Okay.
It's a sub.
I was like, what a weird place to keep them. I feel like they need to probably be in a better location, but okay. Easier access.
Okay. So the subarctic temperatures are so cool. And there's like all these scientists there because should the earth like go through some sort of like
that's why they're keeping the seed just.
Yes. So
wait, really? I was being funny.
Yes, like should all of the like flora and fauna of the earth burn up in a fire or something, there is stored like seeds.
Oh no, I was still talking about the other kind of seed. Oh, they were like trying to make sure that life continued on just in case.
Not that kind of life.
Okay, so we're talking like plant seeds.
We're talking plant seeds.
Okay.
Of like food sources, like grains and things, but also like wild flora of like things that you would find in a forest. Like there's thousands and thousands of types of seeds stored underground on this Arctic island. Should something ever happen and like the earth needs this nutrition to continue humanity. But there's a ticking clock for this island because the water levels are rising. And so
that sounds like a Hunger Games arena if I've ever heard of one.
That would be exciting. No, this is not that type of ticking clock. It's more of like a uneasiness of like what's actually going on here. Like everyone is keeping their secrets and you're trying to figure out what's going on because Rowan, this woman, shows up and she knows there's supposed to be researchers there, but the researchers are not there. And this family is like, oh, well, we're leaving too. They all left and we're leaving too in 6 weeks because life is no longer sustainable on this island because the water levels are rising. So we're going to have to take like a handful of the seeds and leave. They don't even get to take. And so she's like, this doesn't seem right. Why would the scientists and researchers leave? Why wouldn't they take all of the seeds when they leave? they can't like radio for help. Like there's all these things going on. And she's like, what's going on? And so it's a mystery. And she starts investigating on the island, but also at the same time starts to get close to the family. So I haven't finished it yet. And there's like vague mentions to the outside world of like she came to the island because in the outside world, blah, blah, blah. Like it talks all about how she built this beautiful home in this like wilderness area and lost it in a wildfire. So like there are climate mentions, but there hasn't been like there was a mass extinction event because the sun is so hot that everyone burned up. Like it's not that explicit about the climate, at least yet, that I've read so far. It's more of just like the atmosphere of like something is wrong.
Okay. How far into this are you?
Like 60-70%. And I like it. It's a little bit like quieter and slower than I was anticipating. Like it's not super plot heavy.
Okay.
It's more like you're really in the characters' heads as they're kind of like learning about each other and learning about what's going on the island. And there's still things, the teenage daughter, does not live in the house with the family. She lives in like a shack on the beach where the seals are because she has
I don't know why that was funny.
She's afraid of something.
Well, not the seals.
But Rowan hasn't figured out what she's afraid of.
And I've heard seals can be pretty mean. So
she's not afraid of the seals. And like there's all these vague mentions of the people that were on the island before but are no longer there. And also Dominic, the father, he like talks about his dead wife almost as if she's a ghost. That's like, I know. So it's like all these kind of haunting things and you're like, what is going on? So I cannot wait to finish it.
Does it feel gothic-y?
Yes.
Okay.
A little bit.
Like it sounds like there's like a
but like
lot
a
of that, like
modern gothic.
Okay.
Not like I mean, it is kind of crumbling. Like they don't have power because a flood knocked out their power source and all this stuff. So like it's really interesting. It's the first cli-fi book I've read. And in my mind, when I think cli-fi, I think like there was a hurricane that like the earth only has 6% landmass left because of flooding. Like I think of like a big, big, big thing. And this seems like it's a little bit more creeping.
So I'm not going to fully say I'm going to read it yet or that I reckon I'll read it. I reckon I might read it after you finish it and tell me if it's going to scare me.
Okay.
I don't like scary. I don't like creepy.
Yeah.
I don't mind ominous, but I don't want to have nightmares.
Yeah. So far, nothing would be too much for you.
Okay.
But I got about 30% left, so I'll have to see.
If a seal comes and like murders them all, if the seal is who dug the grave. Actually, I'd be here for that. Actually, or the penguins.
We know you love an animal.
I do. If one of these animals start talking, like if we get the POV from the penguin or the seal, I am there. Okay. We probably should digress.
Okay, what about you? What are you currently reading?
Okay, I'm currently reading a few things. So I've been going back and forth in my head which one I want to talk about. Like I was going to talk about one and I was like, no, I'm going to talk about the other. And then I kind of want to talk about one. So let me go to the other book. I just started it. I'm like 2 chapters in, so I don't have much to say.
Okay.
It's the sequel to The Spell Shop. That's the reason I almost changed. I was like, oh, should I talk about that one? Because I brought that up a second ago. But the, little penguin seal book you just talked about, that's all I'm going to take from that whole thing.
The penguins and the seals. I should have not led with the penguins.
Well, I thought they were giant penguins for a while. Okay, so in the first Spell Shop, there is a woman who is like washed up on shore. And I didn't know that that was something that I thought was like great. Like, I don't know why. Like, I think I'm going to be into books that a woman is washed up on shore.
Is that like a microtrope you like?
It's like a microtrope that I didn't know about until recently. That's why when I started reading this, I was like, oh, I'm so in. And then it started getting kind of like
graves
and giant penguins. The blurb says nothing about penguins. So anyways, that made me think of, I just started the Enchanted Greenhouse. And
who's the author?
Sorry, I wasn't prepared because I wasn't going to talk about this book.
I'm glad you are.
I know. Okay, hold on. All right, The Enchanted Greenhouse by Sarah Beth Durst.
Oh, okay, yes.
And so she wrote The Spell Shop, but this is The Spell Shop 2. So if you read the first one, but haven't read this one yet, because this just came out recently too. Like it just came out, let's see, July 15th.
Okay.
So last month. So the first book is where I talked about the sentient
The snake plant.
Chaz. I can't remember. I saw this thing the other day that was like, first 24 hours reading a book, I remember everything. After 24 hours, it's like, I start forgetting character names. It's so true. This book, so he is created by like one of the librarians, but it was like against the law to perform magic. So she gets like punished, and another librarian like kind of like obtains him, and that's why in the spell shop she has him and all those kind of things. This book is about the librarian who created
like a prequel,
him.
kind of?
Yeah. And so, but they're not connected.
So the snake plant isn't in this one?
I don't think Jazzy Chaz, I don't know his name. Cam? Starts with a C. Oh, hold on. Now I'm going to get mad at myself until I know his name. He deserves his name to be said, okay? Kaz. C-A-Z.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
Kaz is not in this one. Maybe not.
Maybe not. I don't know. I'm only just in it. But it is about like the librarian who made him. But she got punished. And she was turned into like a tree statue. And like put that like to like make... Let me just read that.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. New York Times bestselling author Sarah Beth Durst invites you to her new standalone novel nestled on a faraway island brimming with singing flowers, honey cakes, and honey-eyed love. The hardcover edition features beautiful sprayed edges, because that's important in this. Turlu Perna broke the law because she was lonely. She cast a spell and created a magically sentient spider plant. As punishment, she was turned into a wooden statue. Okay, I thought it was kind of like a tree. I guess it was just wood. And tucked away into an alcove in the North Reading Room of the Great Library of Elysium. This should have been the end of her story. Yet one day, Turlu wakes up in the cold of winter on a nearly deserted island full of hundreds of magical greenhouses. So she's still like in wood form. Like she wakes up in her statue form.
But she wakes up.
Well, she's
as a statue.
She's awake the whole time she's like embodied in this.
Man, how awful would that be?
I know, right? I'm assuming she's going to go into that trauma in this book. I don't really know. But she wakes up, like, first chapter, it's like, she opens her eyes and there's snow. And she's like, why is there snow? And then, okay. So, and somehow she's freed from this spell.
On the island.
Mm-hmm. But she doesn't know how she got there. I'm really going off topic here. Okay. This should have been the end of her story. Yet one day, she wakes in the cold of winter on a nearly deserted island full of hundreds of magical greenhouses. I'm already in. Okay. Because should we call them seed houses?
Oh my gosh.
Okay. She's starving and freezing, and the only other human on this island is a grumpy gardener. I love a grumpy guy. And he's a gardener. Okay. To her surprise, he offers Turlu, I don't know if I'm saying her name right, a place to sleep, clean clothes, and freshly baked honey cakes. I don't even know what a honey cake is.
That sounds
but I hope
like
there's a recipe. A book that has a recipe at the end. I'm like, thanks. Okay. At least, okay. Wait, he offers her those things, at least until she's ready to sail home. But Turlu cannot return home and doesn't want to. Their greenhouses are a dream come true, each more wondrous than the next. When she learns that the magic that sustains them is failing, of course, causing the death of everything within them. Okay. Are you that invested? I hope you are. Turlu knows she must help, even if that means breaking the law again. Okay, last time she was turned into a statue. She's got to be careful. Lesson. This time, though, she isn't alone. Assisted by the gardener and a sentient rose.
Okay.
I'm interested in this rose. Turlu must unravel the secrets of a long-dead sorcerer if she wants to save the island and have a fresh chance at happiness and love. Funny, kind, and forgiving, The Enchanted Greenhouse is a story about giving second chances to others and yourself.
That sounds lovely.
So it says it's standalone though. So it must not, I guess, just the same world and like connected through Kaz, but I don't think they overlap.
Okay. I mean, I feel like that's common in romances.
But I mean, like, does she ever think about Kaz? Like, does she wonder where
That's
her
what you're
snake
worried
plant
about.
is?
That's what you're focused on.
Does she just replace him with a rose?
Sounds like it.
I'm worried. Like, how's she gonna know?
Are you going to dislike her as a character if she just forgets about
I mean,
Kaz?
she's been stuck in like a pillar of wood for a while, so I should give her a little bit of grace.
A little sympathy.
Like she might have some damage happening in her mind. I mean, could you imagine?
No, I cannot imagine being stuck as a statue.
I feel like you would go crazy.
Yeah.
And so, but she doesn't, like, literally I've read two chapters, and it's like the first chapter is her getting turned into the wood statue, and then the second one's about like her waking up this island in snow, and she's like, I have no idea how I got here. That's where we're at. I don't think there's going to be a washed up person on this one.
But there is a grumpy gardener.
There is a grumpy gardener, and there is a washed up person in the first book, The Spell Shop.
Mm-hmm. Well, it might be weird if people just kept washing up.
Oh, man, I guess that's true. I guess that can't be like in every one of her books. But she can have a sentient plant in each one. Okay. I'm just kidding. I care way more about the sentient plant than the washed up woman.
I can tell.
A rose, though. Like, how's that work? Do like the petals move like a mouth?
Well, how did the snake plant move?
I don't know, but you assume he has like lots of arms or something. Because he's got all these. Like, I've always wondered, like, is there like a mouth on the plant?
No.
So it just like, where does the sound come from?
I don't know, but I got to tell you guys, you got to watch this on YouTube for Beccah's hand gestures alone.
I think it's going to be a fun read, though.
It sounds really sweet.
And now I want to know what honey cakes are. I will say that the first book was so sweet. They're like cozy.
Mm-hmm. Cozy fantasy.
Cozy fantasy. And like kind of like cozy romances too. Like at least the first book was like not explicit in any way. So like if that's something I know with sometimes like cute little covers, like they trick you and you think like, oh, this is going to be like a sweet little story. And then you're like, whoa.
Spicy.
Okay. That's probably really loud. Sorry. This one wasn't like it, or the first one wasn't. So I assume this one will probably be pretty like,
I think it's a fair
just
assumption.
like lovely and not like crazy.
That sounds, I reckon I would read that. I don't know why, for some reason, that calls to me more than the first one. Was the first one a romance?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. The first one is so good, though.
Yeah. I've read some cozy fantasy.
You should read the first one just for Kaz. And then
That's
there's also a sentient cactus in it.
I'm in.
Who like kind of like beeps because he doesn't really know how to talk yet. And it's just like...
Who is teaching these plants to talk?
Well, she accidentally created him.
They need a speech pathologist.
They need a grumpy gardener speech pathologist.
My real calling.
You didn't even know.
Didn't even know. Here we go.
Yeah. So you need to, can you please read the first one? You do need to read the first one, though, to understand who this character is, I think. Because she gets talked about. Because Kaz, like, never forgets her. That's why I'm like, does she forget him?
Oh. Beccah, I don't think you've ever asked me nicely to read a book like that. Can you please read the first one? Yes, I can. Thank you for asking.
Usually I demand.
Yeah.
I do. And then you'll tell me about a book and I'm like, Summer, it sounds a little weird or creepy. I don't know.
Not going to happen. Well, you're not going to like what I'm about to bring.
Oh no. What are you about to read? What's on your...
Okay, so next? My library hold came in today and I am so excited about this book. Okay.
So is it horror?
No, but it is a thriller. And you don't really read thrillers.
I don't.
Mm-mm. It's not, I mean, I haven't read it, but I don't think it's horror. Okay, so the book that I'm about to read, that I'm so excited to read, is called Runner 13 by Amy McCulloch.
It's talking about running. I'm already out. She just shuts the book and walks out.
Okay, so Amy McCulloch is an author that I read back in 2023. She had a book. It might have been released before then, but it was called Breathless. And it was about...
That would be me as a character in The Runner.
In The Runner as well.
Okay.
Well, this one was about a journalist that went to like climb a mountain, and I think it was the 8th tallest mountain in the world, to interview this famous mountain climbing man.
I was hoping it was something sentient.
No,
this is a tree up on the mountain.
This is a thriller, Beccah. Bella. I almost called you Bella. Bella, where you been, Loca?
Do we even know a Bella?
No. Okay, so climbing a mountain, interviewing this man, and then people start dying in the mountain. Like people are being murdered.
After the interview?
No, like as they're climbing. It takes like weeks to climb mountains like Everest because it's like you're so high up.
Mansplaining mountain climbing to me?
Yes, I think I am. I apologize.
I think I needed that actually. I was thinking like a good like up and down like.
No, it takes a long time, and you like have to like stay up there to acclimate to the elevation.
Okay, I did actually know that, guys.
Yeah. You
I didn't know how big this mountain was. Okay.
Why would you? Okay, so Breathless, I loved. It was so good. It was like the perfect thriller. I finished it and immediately like gave it to a friend and was like, "You have to read this." She read it, loved it. So all that to say, I didn't even know that this book, Runner 13, it just released July 1st of 2025. I didn't even know that it was a thing. I just happened upon it on the internet and got so excited because I loved Breathless so much.
I think that's how you come across most of your books.
That's true. That's accurate.
That wasn't a shame thing. It was you finding the most random books.
Things. I know, but it's a book about running, and I'm a runner.
I know.
By an author that I
I'm
love.
You guys should see my face.
Yes. Okay. Let me read you the setup.
I support runners.
You say that like it's a confession.
No. I just don't want to do it. Okay, sorry. Read your running book.
Okay, book description. Here we go. An exhilarating thriller set against a 250-mile foot race in the Sahara Desert.
I'm dead after like...
Oh, no, I would never do this. I would never do this.
1 foot race. I'm dead.
Where more than one ultramarathoner will be running for their lives. 7 years ago.
Ominous.
I know. Adri, I don't know how it is. Adri, I'll say Adri. Adri left the running world after a major scandal. She leveled an explosive and, as it turns out, career-ending accusation at one of the world's most celebrated coaches, and then he died suddenly. Now, after years away from the limelight, she's ready to race again. Adri is hungry for a challenge, and she's picked one of the toughest events imaginable, a 250-mile trek through the Sahara Desert organized by a mysterious and famously sadistic race director. Sounds awful. I have so many thoughts. It will be a true test of her will and her stamina, proof that after all these years, she can still do it. But she's also there to get closure on the mysteries that cloud her past. Was her family targeted by one of her coach's defenders? Was his death due to natural causes? Adri is determined to finish the race and to find answers in these long buried questions. But clarity is hard to come by out in the Sahara's extreme conditions. And as a number of runners start dropping out, some from the heat and others under more mysterious circumstances, it becomes clear that there's someone out there in the desert trying to stop anyone from winning by any means necessary.
I mean, who knew that people needed a runner thriller?
I need a runner thriller. Okay.
This is one of those books. I know you're about to give your thoughts, but this is one of those books that I'm like, this is so specific.
Yeah. Okay. So her books are kind of sports adjacent, like
which I do
climbing.
like. I do like. I can't do those things, so I'm gonna just be bitter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so racing. Let me mansplain a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a 5K, a half marathon, a marathon. Anything over a marathon, so over 26.2 miles, is considered an ultra marathon. And like that's a whole world of ultra marathoning. I know nothing about it. I've never run that far, never planned to. But a 250-mile race through the Sahara, that sounds crazy extreme. And so
I don't recommend. I reckon people shouldn't do that.
I would agree with you. But so it's like extreme sports, like mountain climbing, ultra marathon in the desert. Like it sounds really interesting. So
is this real? Like, do people do this? I'm gonna look it up.
Oh, I'm sure.
You keep talking. I'm gonna see if people actually race in the Sahara Desert.
I'm sure. So I'm excited about this. I like this author. I am also a runner, so I'm like intrigued by that. Something else that was intriguing, so I was looking at the Goodreads page for it. Some of the tags, the genre tags, thriller, mystery, suspense, sports. There was a tag for feminism. And I'm like, what could that be? She's just a female athlete? Or, another like publishing trend is that like female rage.
Maybe the murderer is a woman and she's,
I don't know. I don't know if that would make it feminist.
Depends who's.
So, I mean, female rage. That's like another thing in books. Sometimes I really like a female rage book where it's like a woman.
Depends why she's murdering.
I know. She's like getting retribution or something. But so I'm intrigued for this one. I'm excited to read it.
That is.
Are there real races? I'm sure there are. I know
Let's
there's
see.
all kinds
Okay,
of ultra marathons.
Well, this is the AI overview, so let's just all take that with a grain of salt, first of all, okay? Yes, people race in the Sahara Desert. The Sahara hosts several well-known endurance races, both on foot and with vehicles. Okay, well, that's cheating, obviously. The Marathon de I don't know. Why am I acting like I read a different language?
Oh, I don't even know what that looks French, maybe? Sable. I don't know.
Often called the toughest foot race on earth. Well, yeah, because you're running in. Okay, it said 250. I was like, is this it? Because you're racing in the Sahara Desert. Okay. This ultra marathon spans approximately 250 kilometers. Kilometers. Okay. Which is 155 miles for all of us Americans over here. Over 7 days in the Moroccan Sahara. Okay.
This one is 250 miles, so it's even more.
I wonder if that was a mistake.
Maybe.
I wonder if
an American mistake.
I wonder if she was like modeling it off of this and
the kilometers instead.
I'm being really judgy on this book, and I don't know why. Like,
you're just morally opposed.
I'm morally opposed to running. No, it actually would probably be really fun, especially if that was like your sport. Like, I think it would be cool to like read that. Yeah. And you like a thriller.
I do like a thriller.
But now are you going to be scared?
I will not be running in the Sahara, so I think I'll be fine.
Okay, well, just don't start running any races that are long enough for people to start popping up dead.
To be murdering as you go.
Yes, yeah. So let's stick to less than a marathon or less, okay?
I can promise you that.
Okay. All right. I'm a little worried for your safety right now.
I appreciate it. Okay, what about you? What are you about to read?
I don't reckon I'll read that. And I don't reckon I'll run ever. So
I'm not expecting you to.
Okay. But I love it for you.
I'll run to you.
Oh, thanks. All right. What's up on my TBR is a book called Wives Like Us. By Plum Skies.
I've heard of
Sykes.
I've heard of this
Plum
one.
Sykes.
I've heard it's really good.
Okay.
Where did you hear about this?
Well, you know me. I haven't really heard about it. I went into a bookstore. Okay. I was buying a wedding present for somebody. And my idea was, we went to celebrate the same person.
Yes.
And I was going to go get some like wedding themed books as like, because of course I had to buy a book for a present. Like that's about, if you're going to get a present from me, most likely it's going to be a book. And so I was like, I'm going to go get all these cute little wedding romance books, whatever.
This is not a romance.
I know. Well, I go in and this is literally on like the main table and it says Wives Like Us. And I was like, perfect. And I look at this cover and I'm like, okay, well, I'm obsessed. You guys, let me hold my cover up. You can't see it at all, but.
Oh, it's so cute.
It's so cute. And so I'm already like, well, this cover looks amazing. And it's about wives. Like, this is perfect. Well, I got like 3 sentences into this like description. I was like, yeah, I'm going to be buying this for myself. Sorry, friend. I'll find you some other cute little romances because this is not that. And I bought this for myself selfishly. Did I also pay way too much money for it because it was a hardback? Yeah.
It's a pretty cover.
It's a pretty cover. But
justified.
Like, I was like, wow, I think it was like $28. I know that's like, everyone's like, that's the normal price for a hardback. It always stabs me in the heart a little bit, okay? So let me read this description. Well, first of all, hold on. Let's go back to her name. Her name is Plum. I really
Plum
hope.
Sykes. That's such a good name.
I know. I'm like, I really hope it's her real name. Oh no, it's not. I clicked on it and it automatically said Victoria. Victoria Rowland, known professionally as Plum Sykes.
Interesting. Okay.
She's an English-born fashion journalist.
She sounds so glamorous.
I know. Novelist and socialite. Let's look at her. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. She looks glamorous.
She does. I bet you she's one of these wives like us. Okay. Wait till I read the description and that will make sense. Okay. So here is the blurb via Goodreads. Take a grand English country house, one heartbroken American divorcee. Divorcee?
Divorcee. You were right.
Okay. 3 rich wives, 2 tycoons, a pair of miniature sausage dogs, and 1 bereaved butler. Put them all into a blender, and out comes the impossibly funny Wives Like Us, the new novel from the best-selling author of Bergdorf Blondes and Party Girls Die in Pearls, Plum Sykes. If you think the English countryside is all green wellies, muddy Land Rovers, and gray-haired ladies in tweed, then you've never visited the Bottoms. I love how, like, British it already is.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the rose-strewn country of Oxfordshire and the Tony Cotswold village of Little Bottom, Middle Bottom, Great Bottom, and Monkton Bottom.
Oh, my goodness.
I feel like I have to be reading all this wrong. Recently annexed by a glittering new breed of female, the country princess. Following a ghastly row about a missing suite of diamonds, Tata, T-A-T-A,
Tata? It has to be Tata.
Right? Tata Hawkins has flounced out of Monkton Bottom Manor with her daughter, Minty. Okay. All right. An executive butler, Ian Palmer, in tow, decamping to the old coach house to teach her husband, Brian, a lesson. But things don't go to plan. Brian disappears to Venice with the bikini designer, Shelby Fairfax, the glamorous American divorcee who has inherited the beautiful estate next door, Great Bottom Park. Why are there so many bottoms?
There's a lot of bottoms.
There's a lot of bottoms happening here. Okay, Great Bottom Park is refusing Tatas overtures. Okay, I don't like that there's lots of bottoms and Tatas. Okay, sorry. You think that was on purpose? I don't know. I don't know if the British are
American
as
humor.
crass as us. Okay, let me start. Beautiful state next door, Great Bottom Park, is refusing Tata's overtures at friendship. Tata's 2 best friends.
There's so many people. I'm having a hard time keeping track.
I can't be mature. Sophie Thompson and Fernanda Ovington Williams.
Sophie's a normal name.
Yeah, are distracted by their own problems. Worst of all, Ian has nowhere to store his collection of vintage Gucci loafers. Will Tata ever return to the comforts of the manor? Will Sophie's husband start appreciating her? Will Fernanda ever find a replacement Manny for her friendless son, Luca? Who's Luca? Will Shelby believe in love again? With the help of a pig farmer-esque moonlighting as a personal assistant, a male model moonlighting as a stable hand, a London barrister moonlighting as a gentleman farmer, and a hypochondriac American tech mogul lying in a hospital bed, is there any hope that Ian can restore harmony to the Bottoms?
What?
Oh, I know. It sounds like an absolute, like, manic episode. And I'm getting, like, okay, obviously it's for, like, the American version. I feel like it's going to be like the Hamptons.
Yes.
Lots of
Oh,
rich
it's very
people.
like housewife
Yes.
sounding, which I don't normally like. But then once it started going into the moonlighting stuff, that sounded funny.
I know. Okay, I won't read this review, but this might explain it a little bit better. It says, when ultra-wealthy American it girl, Shelby Fairfax, moves to the British countryside, her arrival sends ripples through the posh local social scene. The area's glamorous housewives plot and scheme to become her new best friend while dealing with their own issues.
Okay.
That was like a little bit like
Yeah.
the layman version.
Yes.
Need the dumbed down version, please.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you like housewife?
No.
Okay.
I mean, okay, I don't really like reality TV or anything like that, but I don't like to watch it. I think I will have a lot of fun reading it. like knowing that this is like a fiction novel just meant to kind of like probably critique that society a little bit. Like I think I'll be into that. I don't really care about like television reality shows.
Yes.
I don't care about the Housewives. I don't care about the Kardashians. I couldn't even probably name all of them. Like,
I'm the same way. I don't really watch the reality. I'm sure if I like sat down and watched it, I would probably get sucked in and I would like it.
oh yeah, 100%.
But I don't really watch those. I've read several books that are more of those like domestic thrillers where it's about a marriage, or I just recently read a couple where it is like the wives and their interactions and the drama, and I don't typically like those. Like,
yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. I could love it, or I could think it's the dumbest thing I've ever read.
yeah, I almost brought a book today called The Hunting Wives. Have you heard of this?
I feel like I have, but I don't know.
Well, I read it because it became a Netflix show.
Maybe that's why I've heard of it.
Yes, and the Netflix show just came out, so I read the book, and it was a crazy book. I gave it 2 stars. I didn't like it. It was like a whole bunch of like Real Housewife kind of like drama back and forth, and who can make the like most popular one like her the best, and they're obsessed with each other, and there's also like weird sexual tension underlying all of it. But this seems like it's not necessarily like drama for the drama. It's like comedy.
That's what I was going to say. If it's comedy, I might find it funny. Like it could be like, this is hilarious. Like I loved it. But I could also very easily not like it.
Yeah.
I have not read them. You might have read them. They are those really popular books. They have like the crazy covers. Magnolia something?
Magnolia Parks.
Yes.
I have not read those either.
Okay, but I get the same vibe from them, only like college.
Gossipy.
Yeah. Isn't it like college setting though, maybe, or something?
I think they're very young. Yes.
Or yeah, maybe they're just like young adults. I don't really know. I've not read them because I don't usually read the back of a cover. I just pick up a book. Which is why I picked up this book, because I read like sausage dogs getting it. I just read like the first half of it. I was like, oh, these are funny characters. Okay, I'm getting it. Yes, I don't know if I like it or not. I'm excited to read it though, because I think I don't really read a lot of books like that. But again, if it's comedy, or at least like it's funny to read, even if it's supposed to be read serious.
Yeah. And maybe the British of it all too.
I mean,
like it's not like an American housewife.
Put a British accent on it. It's automatically got to be better, right? But I don't know. Maybe it goes somewhere different.
Well, I cannot wait to hear what you think about it. And depending on that, I might pick it up. I might read that.
Okay. I know I feel like that about.
We had a couple of those today.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We had some really interesting picks.
Yeah.
That were very like, could go one way or the other.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. So we finished our books up.
We did our reading roundup.
That was supposed to be a whip. That was really bad. There we go. That was way better. Okay. So those were some wild rides. Lots of different genres. Very much the inside of our heads. So we're going to move on to our spotlight segment now, which is our little rotating segment that we change each episode. And today we're talking about book clubs.
Let's discuss.
Okay, so we're going to talk about book clubs in general. And I was going to ask you, what was the first book club you can remember being in?
So I actually distinctly remember my very first book club I've ever been in. It was in 5th grade. And I got asked to join a book club by one of the teachers at my school. And I remember thinking it was like so cool. I guess they like knew I liked to read. And so they were starting a book club with some of the 5th grade girls. And we read Anne of Green Gables together.
Cute.
I know. And I have very distinct memories of like going to a classroom. It had to have been at like recess time or something. Like we gave up this time. Skipped recess to go read Anne of Green Gables. But that was the first time I was in a book club. And I have so many positive memories associated with that. That I guess it makes sense that I continued my love of reading.
I don't really think I was in a book club till like adulthood.
Yeah.
I don't really think my high school was prone to like, let's start book clubs on the side. We were too busy riding our tractors to school.
That's so funny.
I just told her about that the other day. So that was a real thing. So I don't think I really joined one till probably college, like when I moved to the city, because it just wouldn't have really been a big culture type thing back home.
Maybe.
I mean, like, I just don't remember. Maybe I did. But the first one I can remember would have been college years. And it was just with a group of friends. And it was really fun. But it was definitely the book clubs where someone picked the book and then everyone came and read the same book, which I have a hard time with because there was tons of thrillers and tons of things like that like would have freaked me out even way more at that time than they do now. Like, I could potentially read one now depending on like how creepy or scary it got. And so there were like a lot of books that I didn't want to read.
So someone else was making the picks and it may not have been your interest.
Yeah. So like that, I didn't have like a bad taste for book clubs, but I've always been kind of intimidated by book clubs because of that. Like, I'm like, well, I don't want to read what everybody else wants to read. Like, I want to pick my own books. And I'm reading much more now, but like in college, I wasn't reading as much as I was now. So it's not like I was reading, 5 to 7 books a month.
Yeah.
Where it was like, oh, I'll just throw this in the, that might have been the only book I had read for like a month or two.
And so for it to be one that you don't really enjoy.
Yes. And then it was kind of like ruining like reading for me a little bit. If
I could totally see that.
But there were some really good books out of that too that I enjoyed. But it was fun to get together and like talk books. That was also in my really snooty like English major phase too. I still am snooty English major phase. But I also remember being like, this is the book that we're reading. Okay. Very judgy.
That's so funny.
So anyways, okay. So are you pro book club then, I'm assuming?
I am pro book club. I don't know that I've had any negative experiences with book clubs. I think I just like talking to people about books.
Yeah.
And I think I can kind of make myself like talk about a book, or I can make myself read a book if I'm not super interested in it, just because I want to talk to people about books.
Yeah.
I've gone to book clubs, which I'm sure we're about to talk about in a minute, where I haven't read the book just because I want to listen to people in bookish discussion and like
I'm trying to get better at that.
Talking about themes and
I just
analyzing.
want to have an opinion so much.
So, for example, some of the book clubs I have gone to where I haven't read the book are related to a local spotlight that we want to do.
Yeah.
And it's a spotlight that you are currently sporting.
I am. I'm wearing their shirt today. I don't want to be biased, but they're kind of my favorite place in the world. It's a local bookstore in Oklahoma City called Second Story Books. If you're from the area or close by, you definitely need to stop by. It's just such a lovely, lovely place.
It is. It's such a welcoming space and a place that you want to just kind of sit and read a book for a while.
I literally can go into that bookstore for like whatever need I have in that moment. Like if I just want to like sit in quiet and read, if I want to go do work, if I want to go chit chat for an hour with someone about books. And sometimes I'm talking to people I don't even know.
Yeah.
That's where I have a lot of my book cutes.
You've had so many meet cutes in that bookstore.
I really
with
have.
Platonic friends. But talking about like homes that fill your needs, I almost feel like Second Story Books is one of those like sentient houses that like fulfills our needs.
There's so many plants. Just,
Yeah. So they have a whole host of book clubs that they do monthly.
And we really are drawn to a few of them that we really like. But the one that we both go to the most is their classics book club, which is such a fun book club because we read so much like current lit. Now, I read a lot of classic lit for work. But sometimes I just like to like escape into some more like the contemporary lit that's currently being published and stuff like that. So this makes me be like, nope, I'm going to go read a classic, which again, like we both read classics anyways, but it's nice that every month I'm having to read one.
And they're not necessarily like the classics everyone has read. They're diverse picks. They're not just like the canon of literature of the white men.
Yes.
It's a diverse grouping of books that they've selected for.
Yes, I'm not gonna like spoil anything or share anything yet, but like I know some of the picks for next year and they are so good. And they're so diverse, like authors of color, like there's so many good picks.
I want to know. I want the behind the scenes info. So I mentioned.
Well, you don't know because you missed last month.
I missed last month.
She was running.
I was running. That's why I missed book club.
In a mountain.
Well,
on a mountain.
On a mountain. Up a mountain. I was running on a mountain.
Yeah, you
wow.
were.
Look at that. Full circle.
So she missed this month's book club. But
yeah, I didn't get to discuss the Iliad. So I mentioned in episode 1 that every year I set some sort of goal for my reading.
Mm-hmm.
So like last year, my goal was to read more nonfiction. This year, my goal was to read more classics. And it just perfectly paired in January. You mentioned, because I had just read Persuasion for the first time.
Yes.
And you mentioned, oh, there's this book club or this.
And it was my birthday.
Yeah, there's a book club at Second Story Books where they're talking about Persuasion. Should we go? It was your birthday. It was just like the best
And it was
experience.
snowing.
It was snowing.
Talking about Jane Austen in the snow at a book club on my birthday. It was the best.
That was the first book club I had ever gone to at Second Story and loved it. And so we continued going to classics, but they also have several others.
Yeah. So one that I have not got to go to yet, and I'm so upset about it because every book is such like a killer pick, is Quick Reads. And there has been something almost every time that it's been a book like I want to read that one, that something has come up. One was like my gallbladder was getting taken out of my body.
I mean, that's a good reason.
It was a good reason, I guess. But they have, that one's fun too because they're books that you can read, I mean, honestly, like in a day.
Like one sitting.
Like, yeah. And so they're quick reads.
There's
Shocker.
one that I have not gone to, but I'm very intrigued by called Women's Wrongs, which is that phrase like I support women's rights, but I also support women's wrongs.
Yes.
And so talking about female rage and feminine rage books, I think that's like the topic that they typically read are books in that genre.
Yeah. I haven't been to that one either. I have been, they have a witchy book club. Don't let it freak you out. Okay. It's like books that either like, it could be, I don't remember all the picks this year, but like, I'm assuming it could be like fantasy type stuff that a witch is like a character, or there was one that was more like a nonfiction book that talked about like the history of witches, but like in a sense of like how that was used to, I don't want to say put women in their place. I can't think of the way I'm
persecute women.
Yeah, to persecute women, and how like this like accusation of like these women were witches, and it was like almost like this controlling type.
That would be really interesting.
And it's like, I think it's more nonfiction. And like that one seemed super interesting and talking about like how it still happens today. We just don't use that term or whatever. So that's one on that list that like I want to read because I think that sounds good. But I went to that book club for Practical Magic.
Oh.
And so we talked about the book, the novel Practical Magic, and then we watched the movie, and it was so fun. It was so fun.
That is really fun.
So they have some great.
Yeah. You
book
and I
clubs.
have both been to their romance book club.
Yes.
I think this month we're going to try to go to their cozy read. So we definitely wanted to highlight Second Story Books because they have a lot of really good book clubs. If you're local to Oklahoma City, if you're interested in joining a book club, you can go to their social media, and their very first pinned post has all of their book clubs for the month. And you can just see if anything sparks your interest. You can go. There's several people that go and don't read the books. They just want to be there.
They just want to be there.
There have been a couple of times I've gone to Classics Book Club when I didn't get to finish the book, and I just wanted to listen to Beccah talk. And then there were also the other fun, really smart people talking about the books.
Oh, there's some like brilliant people who come to classics. I love hearing what they have to say about the novels. It's so good. That one definitely is like, I'm going to use the word analytical. Like that one's like, we're going to really like look into like what's happening in the book. Where like the romance one, it's like vibes. Like it's a, like, did you like it? Did you not? And why? And it's like way more. There was like almost 20 people at that one. It was
a big one.
crazy. That was a big one.
I know a lot of other local bookstores also have book clubs. But I am a big fan of Second Story's book clubs.
And we'll highlight on other episodes, we'll highlight other book clubs.
I feel like we've mentioned Night's Nook before.
Yes.
I know Commonplace also has some. So yeah, lots of local, we have a
great bookstore like community in Oklahoma City.
We do. the last book club that we want to talk about.
Okay, so is our book club.
Our book club.
2 years ago,
Yeah.
I started a book club as like a New Year's resolution. I just wanted to read books with friends. But I was really into that, like, I didn't want everyone to have to read the same book. Because I feel like I said, it gets overwhelming sometimes, and I had a bad experience with it. And so I started the silent book club, which has become pretty popular now. When we first started it, it had like just kind of started getting momentum, like people were learning what it was. But if you don't know what a silent book club is, it is literally just you come and read a book. Like, you're in community with people, but you're not necessarily like chatting about one specific book together. Like, we would kind of get together, and for the first hour we would chat about like the books we were reading. We'd all go around and share our current read, and then the second hour we'd kind of break off and like read like by ourselves in a bookstore. And Summer has kind of like joined me in this endeavor now, because we're just little book bestie partners.
Over time, it's kind of evolved in that all of the people, well, first of all, we've grown very organically. Like, people continued to bring their friends. And so we've continued to kind of accumulate really bookish people that read very diversely and have a lot of really cool books that they're bringing. So we're kind of spending more time talking about the books we're bringing, recommending to each other, adding them all to our Goodreads book club night. Is so fun to go scroll through Goodreads, because you can be like, oh, this person, all added, like,
I know.
To
Well,
the
that's
TBR.
why I literally, when you brought that book up earlier, I was like, I had to be at book club because I know someone just read that description. We currently meet at Full Circle Bookstore the last Thursday of the month at 6:30. So if you're a local and you want to come out to, it's still currently just like listed as like the silent book club. But yeah, if you ever want to
come to our book club, come talk books with us. Yes. So if anyone is here in the Oklahoma City area or surrounding area and is interested in coming to our book club, or if you have questions, please reach out to us on Instagram at I Reckon I'll Read It. We're happy to answer any questions or give you details. We'd love to talk books with you guys in person as well.
Yes, please. Okay, so that's it for episode 3 of I Reckon I'll Read It. Thank you guys for listening and joining us on these crazy bookish discussions that we have.
We definitely went down some rabbit holes today.
We did.
We had some good laughs. If you enjoyed our podcast, please take a moment to rate and review us on whichever platform you're using to listen.
And don't forget to connect with us on social media. Like Summer said earlier, we are on Instagram at I Reckon I'll Read It.
For today, we're going to cut and run. Join us next episode on I Reckon I'll Read It.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeehaw. Am I like, do I need to unbuckle my pants?
Go for it. No one's ever going to know.
I don't think I need to.